It's April, you just sent the government a chunk of your paycheck. Let's call it $100. Where does that $100 actually go? Most people picture it the same way. It vanishes into a giant, wasteful blob called the government and gets spent on, who knows, roads, politicians, foreign countries, waste. But that picture is almost completely wrong. What really happens to your $100 is stranger and far more specific. So let's follow it. Here's the first thing worth knowing. You never really felt that $100 leave. It was taken out of your paycheck before the money ever hit your account. That's called withholding, and it was invented during World War II on purpose because the government learned that if people never touch the money, they barely notice it's gone. It's easy to forget how young the income tax really is. A century ago, it barely existed, and only the very richest Americans paid it. Then the war turned it into a tax almost everyone pays, and withholding was the trick that made it painless. So most of us have simply never looked at where any of it went. Let's fix that. Put a tag on your $100 and follow it. First, a surprise, the things you probably picture your taxes paying for, the roads you drove on today, your kid's school, the local police. Most of that is not paid by the federal taxes we're following. Schools, roads, and cops are mostly paid by your state and local taxes, a completely different pot. And that other pot is bigger than you'd think. Your state and local taxes are where most of the visible world comes from. The single biggest thing they buy is schools. So the government you can actually see and touch out, your window is mostly the local one. The federal giant we're about to follow is almost invisible because most of what it does is just quietly move money. So what does your federal $100 actually do? Let's drop it into the federal budget and watch where it lands. And right away, the biggest myth falls apart. Most of your $100 doesn't get spent on stuff at all. It gets handed straight back out to people. About $21 of it becomes a Social Security check. It leaves your paycheck and, within days, lands in the bank account of a retiree. And here's a twist most people never learn. The money for that check didn't even come from your income tax. It came from a separate tax, taken from the very first dollar you earn, called payroll tax. Almost every worker pays it, even people who owe no income tax at all. But it stops at a cap. Whether you earn $170,000 or $10 million, you pay the exact same amount into Social Security. The janitor and the billionaire hand over the same check, and there is no personal account with your name on it, quietly saving up for your retirement. The money you pay in today is immediately paid out to someone who is retired today. You are not saving. You are paying the current generation of grandparents and trusting that the next generation will do the same for you. Then, another $30 or so pays for healthcare, mostly Medicare and Medicaid, covering older Americans and people who can't afford care. Stop and add that up. More than half of your $100 isn't really government spending. It's a transfer from you, a worker right now, to another person right now. And here's what almost nobody realizes. Congress doesn't even vote on most of this each year. It runs on autopilot. It's promised by law, so it just flows. The stuff politicians actually fight about on television is the small slice we haven't even gotten to yet. So the government isn't really a blob that eats your money. It's more like a giant pipe, quietly moving money from the people earning it now to the people who were promised it. Most of your $100 just passes through. Now let's spend what's left. About $14 goes to defense, the military, the weapons, the hundreds of overseas bases. That one most people expect. But the next one, they don't. Around $13 of your $100 and climbing every single year goes to just one thing: interest, not roads, not soldiers. Interest on money the government already borrowed and spent long ago. Because here's a secret hiding in plain sight. The government spends more than it collects. For roughly every $4 it spends, it only actually has $3. The fourth dollar it borrows every year for decades. And borrowed money is never free. So a growing chunk of your taxes now does nothing but pay rent on the past. The country's interest bill has quietly grown to around $1 trillion a year. That is not a typo. In a single year, interest on old debt now rivals, and by some counts has passed, the entire military budget. Split the national debt across every single person in the country, and it comes to over $100,000 each. That $13, it's just your share of the rent on it. And it wasn't always like this. 50 years ago, the picture was almost flipped. Defense was the giant. Healthcare and interest were small. In one lifetime, the pipe quietly reversed, and most people never noticed it happen. So where's all the stuff people actually argue about? Foreign aid. The thing surveys show people believe eats a quarter of the entire budget. It's about $1 of your 100. 1. Space, national parks, the FBI, farm subsidies, embassies, all the things that spark furious debate. Together, they're pocket change next to the big three. Checks to people, healthcare, and interest. The waste everyone's furious about could vanish completely, and your $100 would barely notice. The real money was never there. It was in the parts nobody puts on a bumper sticker. So let's lay out the whole 100 one last time. Roughly $30 healthcare, 21 Social Security checks, 14 defense, 13 interest on old debt and rising, 8 or so the safety net, food assistance, disability, the things that catch people when they fall, and the last handful of dollars split across everything else you have ever seen on the news. Veterans, roads, science, schools, foreign aid, all of it. Look at that list, and the truth of your tax dollar comes into focus. The government isn't a monster that swallows your money. It's mostly a pipe that moves it to other Americans. Your retired neighbors, the sick, the poor, plus a fast-growing bill for money borrowed long ago. You may love that, you may hate it, but now you actually know what you're looking at. And one last thing, to change how you see April itself. If you get a refund, it feels like a gift from the government. It isn't. A refund is simply your own money that you overpaid all year being handed back to you. You gave the government an interest-free loan for 12 months and got nothing for it. The people who owe a little at tax time, they actually played it smarter. So next April, when that $100 quietly disappears from your paycheck, you'll know exactly where it's going. Not into a black hole, into a Social Security check, a hospital bill, and more an interest payment on the past, which leaves one strange question. Every April, the government makes you hand over your money, but millions of people hand over their money to the government completely voluntarily every single week, and they're promised it all goes to schools. It's called the lottery, and where that money really goes is not where they told you. That's next.